are you typically home from work?
Okay. Oh, so it was just insane.
Oh, okay. When's your
There's
next
no
day
real
off?
good. Asking that question, I feel like, is the wrong question to ask because, like, there
Real
could be
certain
no
that
method.
make it really easy for me, and I wish I could do that. But like yours are last couple of days.
There's no good reason.
The last SAU members we have to get confidence for really.
That score is just so sick.
Sure, I understand. Well, when's your next time off that you don't? What? Sure, yeah, I understand. I'm working too. Of course, Diana. When's the next time you gotta have off so we can get you out these no cost
Personal space, like invasion of personal space. You're a fucking FedEx facility. You're not a fucking. You're not.
You're welcome, Diana.
I know water that's thicker than blood, that's deeper than love with my friends. People coming, some people going, Some people ride to the end. When I am blind in my mind, I swear they'd be my rescue, my lifeline. I don't know what I'd do if I'd survive. My brothers and my sisters in my life. I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, they're my family. When I get up, they gon' be high with me. I'll say forever, my family. I'll say forever, my stolen dreams took off. I try to stay still. Ain't nothing changed, now we're grown. We're still young, still got our mindless ways in a timeless phase, kicking songs. When I am blind in my mind, I swear they'd be my rescue, my lifeline. I don't know what I'd do if I'd survive. My brothers and my sisters in my life. I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, they're my family. When I get up, they gon' be high with me. I'll say forever, my family. I'll say forever, my
Let's go. Make no excuses now. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. Let's go. You're time is running out. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. It's not about what you've done, it's about what you doing. It's all about where you going, no matter where you've been. Let's go. Let's go.
I've walked through the valleys of the wilderness in time, only to find out that you have love in places I can't describe. I need you. It's the sun.
Come on, man. Good morning. Hey, okay, there we go. There we go. We're going to start out with a quick video. So, Drew, roll the video.
Hit it, Dre.
All right. Is it? I think it's being shared now.
You're over here.
Share with the sound. Is this? What do you call? What's the name of this car? It's called the what? Still don't know. We'll rewind it. We'll rewind it. Okay. Is this? What do you call? What's the name of this car? It's called the what? Still don't know.
Resident driver of two boats today. I'll protect the party. You just keep the party going, Tommy.
Hey, Merv. That's the color. That was John's phone. He said he's probably the only one that can take the guy who just won.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Ngannou, Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, big guy.
Knocked out Miocic.
Yeah.
Big.
Well, all right, Drew, are we back at it? All right, can you get the lights for us?
No.
Okay, guys, so that was a video on Las Vegas convention in 2019. 2019. That was the last convention that the company had because they didn't have one last year in 2020. As you guys know, we're going to be heading to convention in 2 weeks. We'll be in Cancun. So, get buckled up if you guys are ready for that. Bring your sunscreen, and we'll be really excited to spend some time and hang out with everybody who's coming down to Cancun. It's going to be amazing, amazing time. The people who make it to a convention have done something significant, and they're winners. So when you go to convention, it's amazing because you literally are surrounded by everybody there is what? A winner. You're surrounded by winners. So it's like iron sharpens iron. Everybody, when they come back from convention, ends up doing way better than before they went to convention. People who attend the conventions have a way more successful overall career. So that's why it's so important to attend and make it to these things. So how can you get to Las Vegas next year in 2022, all expenses paid trip for you and a guest for the Caesars Palace, right? Well, we're going to go to Josh for details on that.
I got the details for convention, huh? All right. So does everyone know where we're going for convention? He just said it, right? Las Vegas. I just wanted to make sure everyone was paying attention, right? So for convention of 2021, to qualify as an agent, it's going to be $93,000 in personal production. Now, let's just say you started this month. Your number would be prorated. So if you started in April, like I see a lot of new faces in here, well, your number would actually be 62,000. So if you wrote 62,000 net in April on, you can qualify for convention.
So you see that? So the later in the year, they prorate the number. So you don't have to hit the whole. So why don't you read it down from the beginning
Yeah,
there?
so let's start,
for a
let's
whole
start.
year.
Yep. Whole year, 93,000. 11 months. So if you started in January, we got some people that started in January, 85,250 is the number. If you started in February, it's 77,500. If you started in March, 69,750. April, 62,000. May, 54,250. So if somebody's coming in and going to be starting this coming month, their number will be 54,250. And then anybody after May would be 46,500. And that's for an agent to qualify to go to convention. And I'm pretty sure you get to bring a guest and everything's paid for. So it's a pretty awesome time. If you're a supervisor, how can you qualify to become a supervisor at convention, right? Well, the number is 155,000 of first 6-month production. So you can still go out and write your 93,000 and qualify on the personal level. But if you want to qualify as an SA, a supervisor, you have to get your team to do 155,000 in first 6. Now that's also prorated as well. So if you get promoted in the next month or two, they'll prorate your numbers for you.
Now, just a question: do they combine your personal production with the team to hit that 155?
Yeah, so I was gonna go over that at the end, like for the requirements, but yeah, they say now you can actually have your personal production count towards the team production and qualify you as well. So yes, as a general agent, so if you're a GA, to qualify, you can still go out and write your 93,000 of personal production, or you can get your team to get up and do 205,000 of first 6-month production. And that will also be prorated, obviously, if you get promoted within the year as well. You have to have 2 active first 6 agents as well at the end of that, which you should if you're a GA, okay? And then the master general agent. So as a master general agent, like Vince, Gio, myself, Casey, a lot more are gonna be coming here soon. 300,000 of agency net ALP. So it's not first 6, it's just agency net. And you have to have 10% growth over the year before, or the prior year. You can still also go out and write your 93,000. Like I'm sure Gio's gonna qualify on that as well. He always does. And then net the gross requirements. So first 12 months, if you qualify for convention, you have to have above 80% to get to convention. So you can write all the business in the world, but if it's not good, you're not gonna qualify. So make sure 80% plus. And then once you're here for a year plus, what's your retention need to be, guys? 73% plus to make sure you can qualify for convention. So that's pretty much. Oh yeah, and check this out. Now, say you bring in a personal recruit. You go out and you start the business. You recruit somebody. They come in. Well, they can actually do up to half of your convention numbers. So if your number is 93,000, your personal recruit can do how much? Like 46 and a half. Okay. So if your personal recruit does 46 and a half and you do 46 and a half, you make it, right? And then if they bring anybody in, theirs can count for up to half of theirs. And obviously theirs will be prorated as well. So just for instance, if you have somebody starting now at 62,000, and that means they bring in a personal recruit, they only got to write 31 and you write 31, right? Does that help?
That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. And one other pointer, the personal recruit can go count up to 10,000, right? So if I needed this year 93,000, I could do 46,500 myself. And then my personal recruit, if I have one personal recruit, they can do 10 this year. That 10 will count towards my numbers. But I would have to obviously have 4 to 5 of them hitting those numbers. That makes sense, right? All right, give it up for Josh. Thank you, Josh, for going over that, man. We appreciate that. Yes. Question was, is it net? And just like in basketball, nothing but net. The answer is yes. Yes, it is net business. Hey, vision for us, for the agency, okay? As far as the leadership track goes, we're on pace, and the vision is to have 20 MGAs by the beginning of next year. Okay. So we're going to be going super hard, super heavy into the leadership development side and fast forwarding and getting people to their dreams, hopefully a lot faster than you ever planned on getting there. With that being said, last week we had the SGA meeting for the spring, and then they do one in the fall. So they do 2 a year. All the SGAs in the company get together and they have a huge meeting where they go over all the best practices. The top people in the company speak. The CEO speaks to us. They tell us everything that's going on. And I just left that meeting super excited. I have so many pages of notes. And I told Gio that after that meeting, I could be in my office for the next 6 months, and we still won't even get anything close to implemented and accomplished what we need to get accomplished. So just get ready. We got a lot of work to do. You're ready to roll up your sleeves, okay? Because we got our hands full. We're gonna be busy. But after that, during that meeting, guys, I just want to shout out to the agency that the company went through all the SGAs, and they actually picked a couple SGAs to speak to the SGA body. And they had some of the greats. They had Rick Altig, Jim Serace, and Eric Giglione. Some of us were privileged to meet and see Eric Giglione. He came on to one of our meetings a couple months ago, guys. Eric Giglione's been with the company for over 36 years. Jim Serace has been with the company for over 37, 38 years. Rick Altig's been with the company for like 40 some years with the company, these guys. And they've all known our CEO, Bernard Rappaport. They had deep personal relationships with him. And it was just great to be able to hear from some legends about what, makes this company great. And I could just tell you, after hearing them speak, we're young. Like most of us are in our first few years starting a business. We should be fired up. If anybody has the right to, not really be fired up anymore, I would give it to them. I'd say they've been in the game for 40 years, and find out they were the most fired up people on the whole call. I could not believe it. I was expecting them to just, give us the old rundown of, hey, the company's doing really well and all this, but they were really fired up. They were really passionate. And I just thought it was amazing to see the leaders of the company that have been in the game for 40 years more fired up now than ever before. Some of the young bucks that were in the game, that are in the game right now. So I thought that was just a big lesson to learn in itself. Is the CEO of our company always said, and I was going to say this to the end, but he always said that, in order to set fire to others, we must first set fire to ourselves, right? And he was always the most enthusiastic person, our founder, Bernard Rappaport. If anybody ever talked to you or met him, or you've seen videos or hear people talk about how he always was, he was always very enthusiastic is one of the key words, And it's funny how these three, were the ones that were closest to him, and they kind of embody that same, spirit and mentality, and they brought it into the call. But this comes back around, though. I'll tell you all this for one reason, guys, is that out of all the CEO, out of all the state directors, out of all the agencies in this company, they actually chose us. And they said, because of the work that you guys have done over the past 12 months, we haven't even been here for 12 months. right? At the time they asked us to speak, they wanted us to speak on what we're doing for growth, what we're doing to be successful. They said you have a lot of new people that are achieving a lot of success at a very quick rate, at rates that are pretty much top in the company. Guys, our agency right now is the #1 agency in the entire company for our performance factor for 2021 as well. So that being said, they asked us to speak, and I got to speak to the whole entire SGA body. And I don't take that lightly. It was a huge honor and a huge privilege. So I just wanted to say hats off, caps off to the agency here, because as all of us together, all of our hard work, putting in to make this soup what it is right now. And so far the soup's turning out pretty good, guys. So congratulations, great job. So after we spoke, the CEO said, okay, guys, we're going to break for lunch. But before we break, I got a couple things. And he said, like, what? He went over like one thing, he went over another thing. He said, and the final thing I got to say is Tommy Vina, that's what he said. He said, I'm extremely proud of you and your agency for what you guys have accomplished. And like everybody's on the call as the whole company, and the CEO is like making everybody listen to him talk about us. And he said to go out there and the ink wasn't even dry on the lease. And the next day, the world stopped spinning. Pandemic, global pandemic, all that stuff. And he said most people would have used it as a easy excuse and everybody would have understood. Not one person would have said a thing if he decided to call it back in. Let's just go back where it's safe. Go back where you can make your $1 million, sit in Pittsburgh and be comfy, right? And he said, if there was any doubt at all of who you are and what your agency is about, you guys have put them doubts to rest for sure. So I took that as a huge, huge privilege. I couldn't believe that he's like, I got one more thing to say. And I'm like, got my notes, I'm ready to go. And he's like, Tommy Vina. And I was like, So I want to tell you guys, I just can't tell you how proud I am of what we have done and how far we have come. And I'm even more excited and just more proud already. I'm already proud because I already know what we are about to do. And sometimes it's just a matter of walking into our destiny. Just so happened to be, we're in Des Plaines, which is the city of Destiny, right? And the personal recruit I got last week, his name is Tyler what? Tyler Destin. Best believe I'm going to spin that around when I talk to him next time. I'm going to say, hey, guess where my office is at? Everything happens for a reason, Tyler. It was destined for us to meet. Yeah, that's right. So always be recruiting. Amazing job on that. I want to give a quick lesson on the pay. I apologize. I'm going to go over numbers right now. So get ready for the numbers. You guys ready? Okay, we're going to talk AIL numbers. This is American Income Life talk. Okay, we're going to use the term ALP. Okay, 2,000 ALP is what we're going to start with. 2,000 ALP. Okay, what percentage of that do we actually get paid?
Roughly half.
Oh, roughly half. Huh? What percentage do we get paid? Here's the common misconception is roughly half. We do not make roughly half. And I just want to clear that up because I think sometimes we don't really realize how much this company is actually paying us. Okay? So check this out. If I'm an agent and I do 2,000 ALP and I'm at a 60% contract, okay, I get paid $1,200 on that. Now we'll get $780 up front. We'll get $420 paid out in the commissions over the first year. So remember, you wrote 2,000. What did you get paid? We made $1,200 in commission, right? That's the first year commission, $1,200. We also earned a $235 bonus on that as well. So we made 1,200 plus 235. So we're at 1,435. Now, that client keeps that life insurance, and let's say 20 years. It should be longer, but let's just say 20 years. We get a 3% renewal on that when we're an agent. 3%. So what's 3% of 2,000? $60, right? So now I make $60 a year for the next 20 years. It's how much? $60 a year for 20 years. What is it? $1,200. Someone said 12,000. I wish. $1,200, right? So in renewal income, just for the 20 years, I'll get 1,200. Commission, 1,200. Bonus, 235. That's $2,435 that you earned off of how much ALP? You do 2,000, you make 2,435. When we did the percentage on that, what was the percentage on that? 136%. So we don't get roughly half. We get 136% of that ALP that you're putting up on a weekly basis if you're an agent. Now, when you work hard and you get promoted to the MGA, at the end of the year, we're going to have 20 MGAs. So when you do 2,000 when you're an MGA, how much, what's the percentage on that? 226% you're going to earn. You're going to earn over $4,000. So when you go out and you get promoted and you work hard and you get to an MGA, and when you're an MGA, now you decide to go out and see clients, do you think you're pretty good? When you're an MGA, do you think you're good or bad at seeing clients? Good. Yeah, you're pretty good at that point. You're like what they call black belt, you know? And now talking about belts, you know, when you start out, you're a white belt. You got to remember that, you know? And the way that you get to the black belt is mat time, you know, the time that you're actually on that mat. So that's the same in this business. The people that are MGAs, they didn't just get MGAs. They became, because they made more phone calls. They made more phone calls. They saw more people. They were out in the field longer and harder than people that are SAs. And that's the difference between an SA and an MGA. The MGA hit the field longer and harder. That's why they're an MGA. That's why they're an SA. It's just the time and the experience that they put in, you know? So the point is, though, is when you work hard and you become an MGA and now you decide to go see clients, your contract level, you write 2,000 ALP, you're going to get paid over $4,000 for that same $2,000 of ALP, right? So I just wanted to educate us on that, because sometimes we think it's just half, because that's what we tell everybody. This week might just be this half. But we have to have the long-term vision of knowing, you know, not only are we going to get paid, you know, upfront income, not only are we going to have an opportunity to grow and get promoted and earn promotions, but the main vision and the long-term vision is renewals and residual income. So I met with the managers and MGAs, and we go over this quite often, is understanding the power of residual income. I want everyone here, if I say the power of residual income, I want everyone here to know what that really means. You know, knowing what it means is that if you are able to earn $250 a month in residual income, that's the same thing as someone having $100,000 saved up in their 401k. So if you're working here for 1 year and the year goes by and you start getting only $250 a month in residual income, that will be the same thing as you working at XYZ company and they gave you a 401k, and at the end of the year, you had $100,000 in your 401k, right? I don't know where you can start and 1 year later have $100,000 in your retirement account. I started here, and after my first year with this company, my residual income was $1,000 a month. I didn't even realize what that meant at the time. I was in Puerto Rico at a company convention, sitting at lunch with my father and Justin Adams' dad and Justin Adams. Them two were, Justin Adams' dad retired from the UAW after 35 years. They gave him a watch. They gave him a pension. It's like $1,500 a month. 35 years. So I'm sitting there talking to them. And you know what I realized is what I just told you. I said, you guys realize that if you saved up all your money, Dad, and you had $1 million saved up, and you wanted to retire right now, you could retire with 3%. 3%. That's 30 grand a year. That's $2,500 a month for $1 million. I don't know anybody that has $1 million saved up. Anybody know anybody has $1 million saved up? So if you find somebody that actually has $1 million saved up, it's really even not that impressive. They can retire at $2,500 a month. So we figured all this out at convention, and I realized, wow, if you're able to earn residual income, that is so much more powerful than somebody saving millions of dollars. And it was like an epiphany that I had. So just understanding the math and knowing about the retirement, pulling 3% in retirement and working the math backwards, learning the long-term vision. The average person with this company after 10 years takes home $10,000 a month in residual income. That would take $4 million saved up. We just heard this morning from a walking, living legend that woke up on a Monday. He don't have to do this stuff. He makes $104,000 a month before he even wakes up and goes to work. He hopped on our call this morning and gave us some wisdom, gave us some fire, right? So you can see what's out there, and what's possible. So I'm going to go over the contest, okay? And then I'm going to dive into what we got to do this week, this month. We got another video to play. And we have, if you could pull up the agency store in a second, I got a t-shirt for us for this week. But without further ado, we got the April showers, make it rain. We have 2 weeks left, 2 weeks left. So we have this Friday and next Friday to make it happen. I will tell you, it's a 5-week hire month. We need 80 hires in order to pull this ticket and to go to the lake. And man, I really want to go to the lake. It is so amazing. It only takes how many to win? One. Only takes one ticket. Only takes one ticket. I got 4 tickets in there so far. Okay, how many tickets you guys got? How many you got so far to meet yours? How many personal ones did you get over the last 3 weeks? He's doing one of these. You know what that means, right? Huh? How many? Do you want me to start asking? Let's go around. You want to go around and everybody can say how many personals they got over the last 3 weeks? We got 4. We got 2. We got 1. You got 1, man, Reed? 1? Okay, that's all you need is 1. That's all you need, at least 1, right? Come on, Josh. Josh said he got 3. Oh yeah, let me see. Huh? Okay. All right. So hey, good news is we still got 2 weeks left. We got 2 weeks left to make it happen. Okay, this Friday, next Friday. And we're going to need everybody because the first 2 weeks were slow this month. The week of Easter, everybody was slow. Now we got picked up a little bit. And this past week, we got a lot of momentum. I want to congratulate the managers and the agency. This was the biggest hire week of the year. We came to play. And obviously, we can't go backwards. So we got to keep it going. Okay. If we keep what we did last week for the next 2 weeks, we will hit our number and we'll be able to pull a ticket for the month. So we're going to need 20 hires this week, 20 hires next week. But I want to put it out there and let you guys know what we need. We're right there. It's possible. We just did it. We just got to do it 2 more times, and we're right there. So we're going to pull 1 ticket for you and a guest to go to Lake Pleasant is what we're looking at right now. And we're going to do it for the first week of June. First week of June, we're going to be looking at. So it'll be nice and hot right down there at the lake. It's going to be great. So that's what we're looking forward for that. Top MGA as well is going to go. So get behind your MGA. And I think that's all the announcements I have. So what I want to do is, if you could pull up the video. Drew, we have a video to play. And then we're going to get into it. So before we play the video, I'll just let you guys know, is it, we good? Okay. Last year, we went out and we said that we were going to do something. And a lot of people said, no way, it's impossible. Like literally, it's impossible. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's even thought to even say they're going to do something like that. So we came down to the wire. It was not easy. This was a fight and a half. I mean, people were scratching and clawing. Gio went and wrote 21,000 this week. We'll go over that some more. But it was a very spectacular and special week. And I can't wait to celebrate with you guys again on another great week. But before we close out the meeting, I want to play a quick video, hit on a couple pointers, and we can get out of here, okay? So let's get the video up there.
Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago.
Look at this. We have a little TV on a table. The leader of the pack. 21,000. Oh my God. Personal production for the week. Our top leader, our top MGA. Mr. Gio. Second. Cartwheel. Everybody, this is our official kickoff for May, but also I want to wrap up our month for April. We had a phenomenal first month here in the city of Chicago, and we had an amazing last week. As you guys know, we set off a while ago to break a record, and we went ahead and did so. We were the first agency to do $100,000 in a week within our very first month in operation here during a global pandemic. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Into every office is just a free-for-all ALP room. It was just wild. Sit after sit after sit.
All right, guys. So that was the last time we went at this. This was the first dance we called it. Why? Well, because that week, the week before that, it just so happened that they started the show called The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. And I just think that everything happens for a reason. Like, why would that happen? We moved to Chicago, right? All these years go by. They could have did The Last Dance any year, right? All these years go by, and they decided to do The Last Dance the week before we kicked off our big week. So we said, if they're going to do The Last Dance, we're in Chicago. This ain't going to be our last dance by any means. This is going to be our first dance. So we called it the first dance. And we went out there and we boogied and we cut some rug, I guess, right? And we laid it down and we hit our number, 102,000. Drew, if you could come over here. You guys, I keep saying Drew, you probably don't even get to see him all the time. But look, this is you guys can see it's nice and clear on the screen there. 102,830 ALP. And then on the back, we got the name. And then on the sleeve, this is what Drew did for the week. He put up 51. 187, killing them with it, right? So this week, might as well just pull it up right now. This week, everyone that does 3,000 this week is going to get a second dance t-shirt. Second dance t-shirt. Now, the black and the yellow was the only option you had last year. That was the only one. This year, we got two options. Two different colors for the second dance. So can you pull it up on the screen here? All right, so Drew, no, go to share screen. Share the screen. I want everyone to see the website. He's going to share it. All right, can everyone see that? All right, go turn it that way. Now everybody can. So when you go to thevenaagency.com, if you guys haven't been to the website, check it out, share it, send your recruits there for sure. Go to shop at the top of the website. It says shop on thevenaagency.com. Drew's going to pull it up so you guys can see. There it is. That's the website. And then right there, you click shop, takes you there. And then click catalog. And now you can scroll through all the products. There's all the products. There's t-shirts, there's hoodies, hats, face masks. And you got to go all the way to the third page. And on the last page has the t-shirt. Got to pull it up, click the t-shirt. And then you can scroll down for all the designs. So right there it says the second dance, 200,000 ALP. You notice not 100. Now we got 200,000 ALP. Your name will be on the back, your ALP. And what's it say right there? Making history again. Yes, and it has the date. Scroll down a little bit. Oh yeah, scroll down. There we go. You see the blue, but also we got another color. There it is. The pink. The pink. We got pink and blue. Josh already said he wants a pink one. And I agree. I think I want to go pink as well. What do you think? Reich wants pink? All right, guys. So
6,000. Can you get
no. Yes. Okay. So there's the shirts. You could cut that off the screen there, and let's get into it now. So just understanding everything happens for a reason. This week was tied into everything we had planned. This wasn't like, hey, let's just try and like have a big week. This was planned out 5 months ago. This week was planned out 5 months ago. We already talked about this. We told everybody about this at the beginning of the year, the last week of April, how important this is, how it's going to flow into where we need to be, how it's going to put us in position in the second quarter. Because right now we crushed it in the first quarter, and it would be a shame for us to work so hard in that first quarter and then come into the second quarter and slow down and put ourselves behind. We didn't come this far to come this far. And then this week is so pivotal to this month. This month is absolutely pivotal to the quarter of where we're at, the second quarter of 2021. So first of all, executing this week is not just is important to execute for this week. There's a lot more on it than this week. As I just mentioned, this week is pivotal for the month, which is pivotal for the quarter, which if we come into halftime of 2021, we're gonna be able to turn it up and crush the second half. If we come into halftime 2021 and we're behind, we're gonna have to change the game plan a little bit, right? We're gonna have to start playing a little bit harder, playing from behind. I don't want us to do that. I want us to be right on pace. So also this week right here is not just for this week. It's to gain the momentum that is absolutely necessary for May. Momentum can be a leader's best friend or worst enemy. Worst enemy. Who's the leader of your business? You. How bad of a leader, if you're sailing that ship, how bad do you want some wind in your sails? You need to get some wind in your sails, right? Want to get this thing going, right? Well, you can create that own wind. You can create your own momentum. And there's a lot of different ways to create the momentum. But the key is, once we work and we get this momentum started, we can't slow it down. We have to keep in mind the reason, Pat, that you need to get this momentum going this week is not just so you can have a big week and you could get a t-shirt and we could break the record and do all that, because that is going to happen. But if it's only for this week, it's going to be short-lived. There has to be more to it. The reason that you, Pat, everyone here needs to push and work super hard to get this momentum going in your favor is so that when May comes around, we already got it going. We don't have to get nothing started. The reason we're going right now is to get the momentum going into May. May is going to be a 5-week month. People thought we had some pretty big incomes in March. Well, everyone here is bigger, better, and stronger in May than they were in March. So if you think you had an opportunity in March to really make it happen, May should be your literally the biggest month of your career. But we got to plan that out ahead of time, knowing that this week is the catapult that's going to get that momentum going into May, which is going to have the biggest month of the year for me. And how important is it for me to have the biggest month? Because it's going to raise the bar for me. You know, Marissa, when you had your biggest month, what did that do for you mentally? You knew you can do it, right? And once you know you can do it, it's a scary thing. It's pretty scary, right? So it's important for us to get out there and have our biggest month in May mentally, because we got the whole back half of the year to chase that bar. So we have to raise the bar in May. But in order to do so, we're going to have to drive it this week. So first of all, the founder of this company, Bernard Rappaport, I gave you one quote from him earlier today. In order to set fire to others, we must first set fire to ourselves, right? So we got to be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm, the last four letters in enthusiasm are what? IASM. And IASM stands for I am sold myself. To the belief that you're sold is to the level that you'll be able to sell. If you're really sold on you, on your purpose, on your product, on your mission, on your team, on your company, on your dream, on what you're about, if you're sold on that, it's going to radiate. It's going to radiate. And that enthusiasm is going to touch others. And you're not even going to have to sell because you're going to be selling yourself just by having that enthusiasm. But because you're going to be so sold, your cup is going to be overflowing into other people. Your enthusiasm is so filled up that your enthusiasm is just flowing over into everybody that you touch and run and come across. So to the level that you are sold is to the level that you're going to be able to sell, because sales is a transfer of belief. Sales is a transfer of belief. So being sold is your level of belief on something. You gain enthusiasm, just like the last four letters say, I am sold myself. And I never forget that. Well, the other quote I have is, whatever you are thinking, you are not thinking big enough. And I can promise you that. I want to challenge you on that. I really do. This is where I feel like, I hate to say me, but this is where I feel like I have gained a little bit. If I ever had any competitive advantage on anybody, which I feel like I never had a competitive advantage on anybody, I feel like I'm the underdog in every fight I've ever went into. Every fight I've ever been into, I've been slower, dumber, underprivileged. I didn't have better shoes than them. My dad didn't have more money than them. Every fight I've ever gone into, every battle I've ever been into, I've been the underdog, right? But if I feel like I ever had any little bit of an edge on anybody, right, it was I thought bigger. I thought bigger. I believed bigger. It's not the matter of the fight that's in the dog. It's the matter of the.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight.
It's not the matter of the. Say it again. Come up here. Tell us, everybody, Matt. Matt Brown's, like, anytime I mess up a quote, Matt Brown's right there to save me. Come on, tell everybody what this quote means. Come on.
All right. It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog.
Let's go, baby. Hey, but if I'm gonna get into a fight, I'd rather have a big dog like this on my side, huh?
For sure.
Yeah, if you guys, I got a bouncer sitting right here, Matt Brown. Okay. No, but I feel like I had that fight because my belief and my vision is just so big. I always been able to think bigger than the other person. So that alone allowed me to kind of have a little edge. But also, if you're not thinking big enough, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. So imagine me and you get on a starting line, right? And I believe that I'm gonna win, and you don't believe you're gonna win. That's like you taking a gun out, shooting yourself in the foot before the race starts. You know, so don't do that. Make sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot. Okay. But happy is the person who dreams big dreams and is prepared to pay the price to achieving them. You ever see somebody who's working really, really hard, but they're always happy and always positive? Geo, right? Happy is the man who dreams big dreams. Happy is the person who dreams big dreams, but is prepared to pay the price to achieving them. It's like he already knows where he's going. He's on the path. He's okay with going through the pain and the sacrifice and doing whatever it takes to win. So going into this week, there's some people that have opportunities to get promoted this month. Stephen Ellis, Dalton, Matt Jans, Matt who? Matt Brown. Pat who? Pat Sullivan. Matt who? Pat who? Right? It only takes 1 week. 1 week. Only takes 1 week. Marissa, Mason, guys are right there knocking on the door. Right? So past results do not predict future performances. A lot of times people will pull up their past results. Like, oh, last week I only were able to make 1 sale, or last month I was only able to make 6 sales. So how am I going to make 6 sales in a week if I was only make 6 sales in a month? And we start taking our past results, that whatever it says on a piece of paper, and we think that that has to do with my future performances. If that was the fact, then losing teams would never become a winning team. I've been on teams where we would lose, we'd fix the stuff, we'd come back out and win. Be in the middle of a game, we're losing, call a timeout, fix the stuff. And a lot of times it's not fixing anything, it's just fixing your mindset and going out there and working a little bit harder, with a little bit more grit. Diving on the ball, fighting for it, scratching, clawing. So keep that in mind, everybody, regardless, but especially the ones that are shooting for those promotions. So, we're not our past. People think whatever you are in the past is who you are today. You are whoever you choose to be today. You aren't who you were yesterday. Today, you're whoever you choose to be today. Whoever you choose to be. So this is what I got from Tim Grover. Tim Grover was saying that, you are not what you say you're going to do. That's not who defines you. Like, you are not, think about it. If everybody walked around and just said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and then that's who you are, everybody would be way different than who they are. You know who you are? Not what you say you're going to do, what you do. That's who we are. We're what we do, not what we say we're going to do. What kind of world would it be if everybody was what they said they were going to do? So keep that in mind, what we actually do. And we can't do what we always do and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity. Who said that? Was that Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein. If you continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results, that's insanity, right? So this week, if we want to get different results this week and going into next month, you want to get there, then we're going to have to make sure we're not, number one, make sure you're not repeating the same things you did last week. We got to find out, what are the things I need to stop doing over here, and what do I need to start doing over here? Case, what did you guys do last week that got you the results you got? And what do you need to fix and stop doing? And what do you need to do this week that's going to get you the results that you need to get? It's not always about adding, it's about letting go. It's not always about adding, it's about letting go. You know what people have problems with? Letting go. You want a good example of this? Go look at your closet. Ha ha. I bet you Gio still got like one of his sweaters that his mom got him for when he was in like freshman year of high school. Vince, what do you got? I guess you still got your high school finally famous clothes from Travis Barker. Wasn't Travis Barker the drummer, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Please tell me you still don't got those old, what were those old t-shirts that everybody used to wear? Ed Hardy, you know what I mean? Like, hey, that's the thing though. You spend $90 on an Ed Hardy t-shirt. You're like, oh, I can't get rid of this. But like, bro, it's out of style. See, some of us right now, you're out of style. For real. And people ain't buying you. For real. Like people ain't buying that out of style stuff. So get rid of that old stuff that you've been hanging on to, guys. Get rid of it. It's taking up space in your head. The thing is, people don't want to let go of who they are. You got to let go of who you are for who you want to become. So that was a big message right there. I took a lot of heat to that because I started taking inventory. Number one, I went to my closet when I heard this, and I was like, all right, yeah. But first of all, let's physically start getting rid of these shoes, man. I mean, these old Steve Madden shoes are not coming back in style, bro. I had to tell that to myself. My wife been telling it to me for 3 years. She's like, I had these old Steve Madden shoes, and I know they're not in style, but I said, what if they come back in style, babe? No one's going to be able to have these. These are going to be like some vintage stuff. Oh, so wacky. Like, what are you thinking? They're just taking up space, clogging up space. I moved them from Pittsburgh to Chicago to sit in a box. Like, what are you thinking? So now I had an epiphany myself, okay? But let's forget about the clothes for a second. Let's take an actual personal inventory of things you need to start letting go of, right? What are the things that are not helping you get to where you need to go, that are taking your energy and your focus away? Things that take your energy and focus away, we got to get rid of them. We got to get rid of them. So let's keep going. This next game, one game can be the breakthrough game that'll change your career. One song is put a singer from being a nobody to being a household name. One song, right? 1 week can change the game for you. I've seen it happen so many times in my career, Steve, and I promise you I've seen it. I'm not just making this stuff up. I've seen it with my eyeballs. For me personally, it's happened. You have that 1 week, and from that point forward, everything else has changed. Your business has now gone to the next level. A career is how long? Your career is until you retire. That's a long time, right? Wouldn't you like to make a profound impact over such a long period of time? And in order to do it, you can do that your whole entire career from the next 10, 20, 30 years, change for 7 days. In these 7 days, you dig deep and you find out who you are, what you're about. You introduce the world to the new Matt Brown this week. When you change your career here, you change your life. This career has changed my life. I didn't change my life and then it changed my career. You know that? I grew up in McKees Rocks in the Bottoms, okay? In McKees Rocks, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That didn't change this career. This career changed my life dramatically. So that's how important it is for us to have this big week, because it's going to change your career, change your business, which will change your life. And after you are able to change your life, guess what you're able to do now? Help others. We can't help anyone else unless we can help ourselves first. This is the vehicle, for us to do so. So like I said, we didn't come this far to come this far. We didn't do 100,000 last year to do 100,000 this year. We did 100,000 last year so we could do 200,000 this year. And we're going to do 200,000 this year so we could do $400,000 next year. That's what we're going to do. So 1 year from now, whatever you think you're going to make this week, just times it by at least 2. You're going to make double. Who can say year over year, I'm going to double my income? Who can even say that? Go ahead and ask your boss down the street over at XYZ company. Say, I want to double my income every year. Sorry, we're going to start you out at $1 then. Marissa thought that was funny. I mean, guys, I made 120 my first year, 200,000 my second year, 500 my third year, 937 my fourth year. I literally doubled my income the first 4 years with this company, and I sure as heck would want you guys to do that too. and more. So there's people out there right now that think that we can't do this. They think you can't do this. They think you're nuts. They already think we're nuts. I just tell you, they already think we're crazy. We've already done crazy things for them to see that we're about it, though. And I want to prove them wrong. I want to prove them people wrong. There's people you got to prove wrong this week, Mace. There's some people you got out there and prove them wrong, Demetrius. There's some people out there, you got to go prove them wrong. And sad to say, some of them people might be your mom or dad. Time to prove them wrong. They don't think you can do what you say you're going to do because you say because it's big. It's big. What you say you're going to do is big. And a lot of people are like, he's nuts. She's nuts. She's out of her mind. No way she can do that. Well, this is the opportunity to prove them wrong. I love when people tell me I can't do something. Gives me something to get fired up and go do. Or else another 7 days are going to go by and we're going to be like everybody else and nothing's going to happen in our lives. Here we get to go do something special every single week and make something happen. Most people don't even have that opportunity. They got to go to work. They got to show up. They got to hurry up, get their gear on. They got to check in, put their time sheet in. And then at 5 o'clock, they got to leave and then they got to go. And then there's nothing at the end of the week. It's the same thing as last week, which is the same week as the week before. And guess what they're going to do next week? Mace, guess what we're going to do next week? Same thing. Same thing. No opportunity to do anything special or big or push yourself or get better or thrive or drive or compete or feel life at all. No feelings are involved there. It's numb. Just go through the motions. No numb, no feelings, right? Here we get to go through. We get to experience life. We get to meet with people, touch their lives, know what it's like to win, know what it's like to lose, come together as a team, get better, push yourself. So things are going to happen to us this week. Things are going to happen to you this week, especially when you're pushing. When you're pushing, man, you're going to get knocked down a lot more. That's only 1% of the shit, though. All that stuff is 1%. Whatever happens to you is 1%. The other 99 is what we do reaction to that. Life is 1% of what happens to us, 99% of how we react. How we react. So fear is nervousness. People going, what if? Don't run through your week with all the what ifs. Oh, what if they don't show up? What if what if I miss my goal? You're starting out the week worrying about if you miss your bills. What's that? Not what if I miss. What if I make? What if I have my biggest week ever? What if they do show up? What if they're the best client ever? What if they give me 42 referrals? He signed up for $200 a month. He called his brother. I'm going to see his brother in an hour, but he gave me 42 referrals. I'm going to call for the next hour until I go see his brother. What if that happened? That's where I'm living on. When you go to make your phone calls, you got to be thinking, what if they pick up? What if they're going to be my next best client? Not what if they don't answer. So if you're going to live in the land of what ifs, live in the land of best case scenario what ifs. So we're going to go from good to great to unstoppable. He talks about in Tim Grover. He says, someone that's good is like motivation. Someone that's great is elevation. Someone that's good can get motivated. If you're good, you can get motivated. But if you're great, you can get elevated. You can elevate your game to the next level as someone who's great. But there's a difference. Because there's someone else who's unstoppable. And that person who's unstoppable has mastered being great, and they are willing to do anything. So I got to talk last week, guys, with Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the personal trainer of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So this guy knows what it takes behind the scenes to make a champion. They say that if you're good, you can win a game. If you're good, you can win a game. But if you're great, you can put together a championship. But if you're unstoppable, like Michael Jordan, you can win multiple championships. Big difference. To win a championship is very hard. To win back-to-back championships, they say, is damn near impossible. To win back-to-back championships never happens. It's impossible. It's so hard. So hard. So hard to win back-to-back. And Michael Jordan did it. To win 3 in a row is it's like impossible times a million. I don't even know what the number is. It's crazy, right? So he won 3 in a row. So to be unstoppable like Michael Jordan, right? You have to have a certain level, a certain degree of care. And they said that Michael Jordan, here's the notes that they had on Jordan. What did it say? He said that the characteristic that described him the most, you guys want to know? Michael Jordan's biggest weakness was he was extremely unapologetic. Extremely unapologetic. That's Michael Jordan's biggest weakness from Tim Grover. You probably want to write this down. Just Tim Grover just telling you Michael Jordan's biggest weakness. I don't know, unless you guys got steel trap memories. He said he's extremely apologetic. Gio got 3 pages of notes. He expects you to be at your best all the time. And then the question was why? Michael Jordan, if you were on his team, was extremely unapologetic. He expected you to be at your absolute best all the time. Why? Because he was at his absolute best all the time. He said, I've coached, I've trained the world-class athletes, Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley, Kobe Bryant, and they all had a zone. They would get into the zone. They really get into the zone, and they would never really get out of it. But every now and then, they'd get out of the zone and go see their kids and all that. He said one person who never dropped it, he just never put it down. It wasn't an act. It just was who he was. He never got out of the zone, was MJ. Michael Jordan, never once did he get out of the zone. He was so zoned in. So he didn't take any days off, and he expected the same from every player on his team. In fact, the players on his team couldn't wait to go play the opponent because practicing with Michael Jordan was so hard. They would rather go play the opponents instead of practice with Michael Jordan, right? Kobe Bryant, Game 6 against the Boston Celtics. They lost. When they won a championship, it was Kobe Bryant versus the Celtics, Game 6. They lost. And he went to Tim Grover. He said, Tim, I got to get ready for Game 7. And he said, man, but I don't know what I can do. He said, I literally gave everything I got against the Celtics in Game 6. Kobe said, I threw everything at him but the kitchen sink. So you know what Tim Grover said to him? He said, well, why'd you hold back the sink? He said, you know what we're going to do in Game 7? We're bringing the sink. And they won. That's how the champions, you're talking about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant thought that he gave it all. Thought that he gave it all. Came up short. Found out he didn't give it all. Went to his coach, and his coach didn't pat him on the back and say, oh, that's all right, son. He said, no, you didn't give it all. You held back the sink. We got to find a way to dig deeper and throw everything at him and the kitchen sink. And if that's what it's going to take Kobe Bryant in Game 7 against the Boston Celtics, and that's what his coach is going to tell him, then that's what I got to tell you. You think you gave him all before? Gio thinks he gave it all. He didn't. He held back the sink. Some of you guys are holding back all the appliances. You're holding back the sink, the dishwasher. You're holding a toaster and everything back. We got to give it all. Right, Mace? All right. So pressure this week, the pressure is going to go onto the system. Okay? Put the pressure onto the system. Think bigger than you've ever thought before, because I guarantee you guys, whatever you're thinking is not big enough. That's all we got, guys. I can't wait to see us celebrate on Monday. Okay, let's lay it out on the line this week. This is our week. We're going to break history. We're going to make history. Nobody has ever even thought about saying these words of what we're about right now. $200,000. We're going to count this sucker down and make history together as a team. Everybody as one. Count on everybody. Let's come together and let's feed off the energy this week. And nothing's going to be able to stop us, guys. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Drew, thanks for giving me the time notice too.
We try to do it at 12.
I know I was supposed to stop at noon. We're 10 minutes over.
It's fire. The last
All right.
5 minutes was great.
All right.
Great. I'm like repeating for my team of the group. Tell them to give me a commit for calls. I don't want to.
Can they hear me? All right. What's up, Rogan? We see you.
Hey. Won't you give me that left, right, left? Won't you give me that left, right, left? Won't you give me that step by step? Won't you give me that step by step? Won't you give me that left, right, left? Won't you give me that left, right?